So with the Vikings specialists here, we have two of the three as free agents, long snapper, kicker, punter. So probably not the most ideal thing to have two in one go here. Dan Bailey, though, we'll start with him as he is the kicker. Between 0 and 19 yards, he didn't attempt a kick. Between 20 and 29, he went 10 for 10. 30 and 39, 9 for 9. 40 and 49, 5 for 7. And with 50-plus yards, he made 3 for 3. So 27 of 29, that's 93.1%. 40 of 44 on the extra points, so 90.9. And these are all good numbers. So why wouldn't you want to keep Dan Bailey? Money. Kind of makes the world go round these days. And Dan Bailey may be too much money because he had a $2 million cap hit for 2019. And if you look at just his career, he's used to making between $2-3 million a season. And given Minnesota only has $1.3 million in cap right now, you can't really expect them to have that kind of cash just lying around for a kicker, which is not good. But I would think, given the fact that it's been a problem for so long and we finally got something that worked, this might be a priority to keep Dan Bailey around, because at 93.1% for the field goals, we've been wanting that for a while up here in Minnesota, and we finally got it, so don't try to throw it away, So I would think he is probably a bigger priority than some people will realize. And Britton Colquitt is the next guy, and there will be some that say he definitely did contribute to that 93.1 just because, well, we got him because he was a holder, right? He was really good at that. That's what we were told. Significantly went up from 75% to 93.1. So I'm not a holder specialist, but that seems like something that definitely affected that. But as a punter, Britton Colquitt had 62 punts. He averaged 45.2 yards a punt, which was 21st in the league, a net average of 42.6, which was 11th. 24 points inside the 20. That was 19th. And he didn't have a touchback or a block, so that was good. And Colquitt could be in actually a similar boat as Dan Bailey, because he's much in that same way, where he was actually averaging somewhere between $2 and $3 million a season to his prior contracts. So that's another place where you could say, do they get younger cheaper like they did with the long snapper last year? Which, once again, I have to assume was a good move, just because, even though I'm not a long snapper specialist, everything went up. So I have to assume that was a good move. And I would think, at least in one of these spots, they will go younger and cheaper. And I'm thinking the guy that might be sacrificed here is Britton Colquitt, just because I'm not entirely certain Mike Zimmer and young kicker go together. It doesn't seem like something that really meshes to me. So I'm thinking if one has to go, it's probably Britton Colquitt. But I think ideally both of them would be back, just because finally field goals worked. And it was kind of nice that, when we were talking about the downfall of this team, we weren't talking about the kicker. It was pretty rare. Usually it was if it comes down to a field goal, we're screwed because, Vikings. And we didn't have that this year. I never really felt easy about field goal kicking this year, though, just because, past. But just this season alone, it was really solid, and it was really not in question. So I would think Dan Bailey becomes a priority, and you don't have to deal with rookie kicker kind of thing, or undrafted rookie or young kicker that may not necessarily be a rookie, but first year starting first year kicking kicker for a full year. You know what I mean? Just young, inexperienced kicker. I don't think that goes well with Mike Zimmer, and I think he's going to kind of pound the table to get Dan Bailey back strictly for that reason alone. And I would like to know your comments down below on this. Like and subscribing always helps. And until next time, I bid y'all adieu.